Welcome everybody, we're here to review probably free games today. First one is plain and simple. You're playing Greendog, who ends up on the beach with beloved lady Bramby, which I can easily tell she doesn't look like she belongs in this game. She's wearing a she's wearing a medallion around his neck and he can't take it off. Only way he can take it off is find a piece of the treasure. Well, 6 pieces of the treasure. He has lost his ability to surf. But he can platform like any type of video game characters. Like any type of video games from the late 90s. This one came out in It has that classic Genesis sound effect. Our hero can paddle with his vehicles with his feet. Also, I can't tell if that's supposed to be a hat or his hairdo. But I can easily tell that you can go to 6 levels. One is a big huge side beach, the other one's a jungle, the other one is part of the subway, even a cave. Also, collecting food would count as health, but nope, they give you points. Like any type of games from the early 90s, you get to the very end of the level. This one has a very good soundtrack. I think why you have to face some animals that are out for his blood to get the medallion that's around him, and they start going crazy and start attacking him. So it's up to our hero to get to the very end of the level. Even going underwater is pretty awesome. Downright cool at times. Turn it down a little bit, because it's incredibly loud. I would say everything in the background are pretty well done from a game from the late 90s. And like any type of Genesis games have great soundtrack. This is basically all you do in this game is find hidden treasures and stuff. Which is not a bad idea of good gameplay. Not too many people remember this game existed. Until today, where YouTube downloaded this last hours ago. So it's my turn for me to talk about this game, and like most people that talk about this game might know or might not know this game existed. Like any type of games, they never get remastered. Once they're on Sega Genesis, you'll never see them again. But I guess Sonic beats him to be the most famous Genesis franchise of good games of Sega. Ain't that memorable at times. You're just collecting treasure to the very end of the gameplay. The ending is probably not the best one, but spoilers, this is pretty much how the game comes to an end. Where the final level is basically a volcano, and sadly there's no final boss, and you can pro skate In the very end of the game, you can finally surf at last, along with his girlfriend, Ramby. This game is a little bit below average, but it's an okay game. It still gets a low grading of 6 out of 10. So next we'll talk about another short interesting game that's also plain and simple. Next is Normy Beat Rama. A game I did remember playing as a kid back then. Not to mention the animation looks like from a Pink Panther cartoon. The game is also plain and simple. You're playing Normy, and his main goal is to save all the babes from several different worlds and using some sort of powerful potion that sends him back in time in different levels. You get a prehistoric level, Knights of the Round Table level, Egyptian, outer space level, and most likely the final level is Hell. Yes, that's what it's actually called. Like any type of games from the early 90s, this one's a platforming game where you collect most likely... Well, when I was a kid, I always thought they were just one of those kickballs that most kids used to do back in the day in the 90s. But there are actually beach balls, which you have to collect for high points. Normy's weapon is a hammer of a boxing glove. Classic cartoon weapon. You can dash, run faster, and jump a little bit higher. I do remember playing this game when I was younger. You can jump on those random pigs as platforms to higher places and get checkpoints. Sometimes there'll be like seeing some hidden blockage and you have to make sure you get something for the character to move out of the way so you can continue the gameplay. I would say like a solid puzzle game, but it's not like that at all. You also fight bosses later on too. There's just not much else to say in that. This is just a platforming game that you can just go here and there, fight a few enemies, fight snakes, giant rats. That's basically all you do. To make this review pretty short as possible because we're getting close to the 10-minute mark. My videos can only last for like 15 minutes. This is a pretty good game actually. See? Most people might actually remember playing this game when they were younger. Might agree or disagree with me, but hey, this is pretty much how it is with good gameplay. I had to give Normy's Beach Babe or Rama, not a bad game, a 7 out of 10, and being a good, interesting gameplay, good graphics, great sound effects. This game deserves to be remastered for the other long-forgotten games. Alright, one more game and it's The Humans, which is also part of my childhood dreams when I was younger, which also came out in the 90s. This game is also plain and simple. Oh, but you basically play humans going up ladders and avoiding enemies, including the monkeys and other things. I do like the graphics in this game because it's pretty cool and pretty fun to watch. This game kind of reminds me of the Lemmies. Make sure the humans get to the very end of the stage without falling to their doom, solving puzzles, climbing stairs, using weapons against the other prehistoric animal. Oh, T-Rex. Have to beat the time limit before it runs out. You can select other characters too, which also reminds me of the Lost Vikings game for the Sega Genesis. That's basically all you do in this game for like a couple of hours. I would say this game's graphics are pretty great too. Not to mention this is on Super Nintendo as well, which I didn't know existed. I didn't know this was on Sega Genesis. Basically, this is all you do is solve puzzles to the very end to rescue the other humans who are held captive by the evil monkeys. But for me, I never did get to beat this game when I was younger. Or I usually got the game over screen, which I hate to admit it. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if any people talk about this game, even though it's easily forgotten too. But like any type of games from the early 90s, gets a heck of a way to be interestingly good. You have to beat the time limit too. So you have to beat all the stages until the very end of the level. So, there's not much else to say about this game, but it's totally probably worth your time as well. If you like to solve puzzles, this game will probably be for you. So I have to give Humans for the Sega Genesis being a pretty good game, even though you'll probably get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. But nonetheless, I had to give this game a 6 out of 10. That's all the games I have to talk about real quick. I have to make this video like less than 14 minutes. There's another thing I didn't say about Greendog. Greendog, you can probably beat the game in less than an hour. For Normy's Beach, probably an hour as well. And for this game, it'll probably take you like 3 hours to solve all the puzzles. Also, you can get this far into these amazing challenges on the way of this gameplay skills. So, see you then, folks. I'll probably talk about other long-forgotten video games that never got reboots in other systems for the PS3 or Xbox 360 or PS4 or Xbox One in your Genesis collection. Leave a like and subscribe. Leave in more views and likes to this amazingly interesting review. So, till then, I'll see you guys. These next time I talk about more interesting forgotten games in the near future. So, goodbye for now.